Hey, that's pretty pretty good. Sage glazed. The spirit box.
I am the spirit box. Walt. Walt. Go ahead.
Okay. So I thought we could talk a little bit about our writing process and how you write the first draft and at what point do you turn it over to your editor.
Well, when I write a first draft, and I basically leave a lot of holes. My goal is to get the story out, have it make sense, and then I'll write a second draft, and then I turn it over to the editor, and the editor goes through and fills in some more gaps with my language.
Wait, and you forgot about we argue a little bit.
Oh, we do argue a little bit. Um, yeah,
A little bit.
a little bit, yeah. Sometimes more than a little bit, but we try to maintain composure, and we basically get through it after a couple of days.
Yeah.
hmm So then after that editorial pass, then I take it, I write the third draft, and when I'm writing the third draft, I'm paying more attention to the dialogue, I'm paying more attention to the action, and filling in more and more of the dialogue and the action, and then it goes back to the editor.
hmm
The editor,
Right.
and then after she edits again, then I take it back and I go through it, and
Again.
I go through it again, and then I give it back to the editor,
And I go through it again.
and she goes through it again, and then after she goes through it again, then I look at it again, and I make changes, and this time I put on the tracking changes, and she looks at the changes that have been tracked,
Changes.
and she decides whether or not she'll accept my final changes, and then after that I format.
And I'm never ready for the format. I just want to keep going, edit and edit and edit. I never feel like it's done.
And as far as that's concerned, it is a problem in the creative process. Even when I'm working on graphics, you may have noticed that a lot of times my books have multiple covers before they come out, and the reason why is as I'm developing the story and I'm going through the situations in the story, I feel like that maybe the picture I chose or the character that I chose for the cover doesn't quite give the meaning of the book, because as some authors use an outline to write, I don't use an outline. I just write as the story happens. The story comes to me as it happens, and I react to that. And so as
I don't really think that you create the story. I think you're just downloading the story.
I download the story, I actually have no
He has no clue.
I have no clue where the story is going when I start. I do know what it's supposed to be about somewhat, but then I read the first email that I sent to Susan with the idea for Rune, and it wasn't any. It was very different than the way the stories. No, really, it's very different than the story original email was. So, going to cut you back to the games. We'll be back in a few minutes.